Okay, so I only did 2 spoons and then 4 spoons of peroxide, and there is a little bit in there left, and I've done my whole head. But for people with thicker hair, you probably need quite a bit more. I had a friend and I did like 6 spoons of bleach and 12 spoons of peroxide, and that was just enough. At the front, and I'll just move it down. And then sometimes, like you kind of pull the hair apart, you get more of an idea of if the colour's the same as up here. I think it looks pretty close. And then just make sure you check around the sides where it was put on later, because you don't want to end up with really nice hair and then really shitty down the sides. It looks pretty good. And then get someone else to check the back of your head or use a mirror. How do you reckon it looks there? Okay?
No longer.
Sometimes if there's bits in there, just push up with your finger, it's fine. And then if you're really not sure, you can just wash a little bit off with your finger, a piece of hair, to see what colour it looks like. And just beware that, it is wet because of the bleach being on there, so it will be a little bit darker, and then sometimes it can look green with the blue and the blonde together. Like in here, looks a bit green. Yeah, I think it's pretty much, and you can see we've missed a little bit here, Mum. It's going to be brown. And if it gets itchy, it's better to what are you doing? If it got itchy here, it's better to actually pull that hair rather than try to scratch it. If it's itchy in the back, just pull hair around there until you find where the roots are, because if you start itching it, you can scratch the skin and then the bleach will get on that and it'll just become really irritated. So just pull on the hair and that'll kind of settle it down a bit. How's it look? A little bit longer?
A little bit longer.
Okay. Grab a section probably closer to the back because you can see better. You can see it is it'll be lighter down the bottom because that's where it was at your scalp. That's the hottest part, so it'll turn quicker. And then it kind of is that's where the real colour is, and then that's what I already had before. Over here you can see there's a little bit of brown we've missed, but you won't see that. On my hair you won't see that anyway. It looks a lot darker actually than it is, especially when my hair's dry. See, that's what I was talking about. It's better to go further than to go shorter because you'll get a little bit of brown. That won't bother me because of where it is on my hair. You can go back and retouch. That's why if you've got extra left over in your mix, leave it until you've fully finished your hair, because then you can go back and do touch-ups like that if you need to. It will look really, really white on your scalp, but don't be too worried about that. So we've just washed it out and towel dried it. If you've got fake nails like me, it's probably best to get someone else to wash it out just to make sure the bleach doesn't do anything to them. I'm not sure if it would, but otherwise just use gloves. And then we're going to do the toner as well. It looks pretty good. If you're not sure, you can go and blow dry it. We didn't put any shampoo or anything in this, but you can go blow dry it just to do more of a thorough check. It'll be a lot easier, but really it's okay. Okay, so next you want to get some silver toner. It costs $5 or $10. And then I can probably do my hair with 1 pack, but my hair's really thin, so most people need 2, sometimes 3. With gloves, you can use them. If you're doing it yourself and you don't have fake nails, it's probably okay. You'll notice it's a really purple colour because that's the opposite of yellow, so it offsets the yellow in your hair. So if you're doing it yourself and you don't have fake nails, it's probably okay. You don't have to wear gloves, and it'll be a lot more comfortable too, because when you go and shampoo your hair, it'll take most of the colour off your hands. But if you do have fake nails, it can stain them. And then if you aren't the one washing it out, just use some gloves. So it's like that really purpley colour. It kind of smells a bit like chlorine, and it's like really runny mousse. And you just kind of, yeah, put that in. Now you're supposed to do it like by sections and painting it on like you did the bleach, but I don't bother because it doesn't really make a difference. I just pat it on just wherever, really. Like I'll just section it really roughly, just move it over until it's pretty much all on my roots. Don't worry too much if it gets on your skin, like it will stain, but the shampoo should really take most of the colour off. So you'll notice that after you put it on your hair, it becomes more of a blue colour. So because your hair's pretty porous, because you've just stripped all the colour out of it, it will soak it up. So depending, once again, how thick and how light your hair's gone, depends on how long you leave it on. The box says for some people 40 minutes, but I probably wouldn't do that because it can actually make your hair purple because it just soaks up all the colour. It'll eventually wash out, but I wouldn't risk it. So as you can see, just roughly sectioning it and just patting it on with your hands, and then just rub it in. It will say on the box to rub it in until it's kind of like bubbly or something. That doesn't work with any of them, so don't worry about it. It probably would work better if you brushed your hair, but we're too lazy and it doesn't really matter. And then you just pretty much do that, like you focus on the roots because that's where you've just done, that's where it'll be kind of that orangey yellow tinge that you don't want. And then you can just work it through the rest of your hair later. Okay, so she's just really rubbing it through. If you've got a sensitive scalp, I definitely probably recommend you brush it out because when it's kind of all wet, you've really got to kind of pull it through. So if that will hurt you too much, it's better to try and dry it a little bit. Okay, so you can see now that the blue is much lighter, you can pretty much barely see it. And then they might look a little green, but they'll start to look see-through, like your hair will start to look a little see-through, and that's pretty much when you want to take it out. Like it'll look pretty white, like there's not much yellow in there at all. So then it's time to wash it out. If you've left it a bit long and your hair is blue after you finish washing it out, just keep washing it because it will come out. It does fade. And then if it's not the colour you want, you can always tone it again. Okay, so we washed it out and then blow dried it. You don't have to blow dry it, but I did because I hate waiting for it to dry. And you can see that it's pretty even in colour. If you hold it straight or up, you can probably see some banding where it's lighter and it's almost see-through. But that's fine because like you can see, that's happened to me for ages. And you can see that all this is the same, so it will fade out to be about the same colour, or mine does anyway, no matter what I do to it. So yeah, that'll be fine. It took some scrubbing to get the blue out, but that's fine. So yeah. Bye.